Hey guys, welcome back to the DFH locker. I'm already dying. Locker room show number 6, number 5. I don't even know anymore. I'm here with the entire RLCS crew.
Hey, what's up?
The audio is gonna be delayed on Jamesbot's side on his webcam, but and I'm in a blanket, so you already know that this show is a shit show. But you guys come here for that, I guess.
The nice thing is, though, is the podcast people will have no idea. It'll just be audio, and it'll be beautiful.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how well this comes out. And people keep asking, "Are you wearing a Snuggie?" I'm like, no, I wish I had a Snuggie, but it's just a blanket. All right, let's get right into it. The first big news: Geno Cop is stepping down from Orbit the night before the biggest a day of their lives, basically, for personal reasons. Yeah. So hopefully, obviously, hopefully it's not serious and, it can be worked out, because obviously that comes first, family or whatever it is. But for the Orbit's sake, holy crap.
Yeah, so I think hope is not lost. Hopefully it's something like maybe that he didn't clean his room or something. And
I hope it's not that, because his parents should know this is big. But
honestly, though, you never know. He's a younger player. His parents might not understand that this is a huge opportunity. Hopefully they can get it worked out. Right now, group stages is going to be over the course of 2 weekends. So hopefully Stev can come in and they can keep this ship afloat, and by next weekend get that figured out with Geno, because it would be such a shame to lose him on the pro scene. He's a lot of people's favorite player. He's
mouse keyboard as well.
Premier mouse and keyboard player. Yeah. So it would just be a big blow to the Rocket League scene if he were to really pull out. And we've seen with Gambit left the scene as well and ended up coming back, and it worked out for him. So hopefully we can have that same situation.
I'm bummed because that was the first player that I ever really became a fan of. Yeah. And seeing him go up through VVV and that. And then
we should do introductions too. And this
hello.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
What the fuck word?
No. We don't say those words.
Oh, sorry.
Fucking
no, it's only.
That's fucking dickhead, man.
Swear words are fine.
No, it's fine. It's fine for the show. Do your intros, damn it. Go for it, James.
I'm Lee Vex. I'm the guy with the crazy haircut on TV that you've seen doing his taxes on RLCS. I've been doing VVV for 6 months now.
6 months. Probably.
Yeah, 6 months, and then doing the Pulsar Premier League, Kevin's league over there, for a couple weeks, and then we got pulled up to this. So it's been a crazy ride.
Lawler, what's up? Started VVV. Was the top 100 player for 1v1s when I first started. Showed up Jamesbot surprisingly somehow once. And then, kind of got involved with PPL, and then VVV, and now doing RLC and here, which is pretty nuts. So,
I'm Wave Punk. I have a YouTube channel. It's Wave Punk at YouTube, whatever.
Do the plug. Do the plug.
Sell out.
That's really my big thing, though. I do play breakdowns and strategy videos, and started doing shoutcasting on there, and then I got picked up by RLC, and now I'm here.
And he claps a lot.
Yeah, I do.
All right, listen. It's add extra hype.
Try not do that.
I'm fine.
No, it's great.
Most of you just know my beard and have no idea who I am, actually. I started the PPL. I've been casting for a while. Got called out to do this.
That beard.
And this is, I appreciate much recognition of my lack of facial care, and it's been a fun ride so far, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Intro. You suck. But anyway, back to the good stuff.
Yeah,
right?
So that's the shitty crew, and we're back. So Geno Cop's out, so that just looks bad for Orbit, because even if he's only out for this first weekend, they were already a borderline playoff team, and that really hurts their chances to make it.
A lot. And so, but again, like we were saying before, the group stages is going to be drawn out over 2 weekends. So they will play half of their round robin games this weekend, or tomorrow, I mean, and then the rest of their games the following weekend. So there's still time. There's still hope. Stev, honestly, when they played in Rocket Royale, he didn't play the best on stream, but apparently the off-stream games that he had, he played really well.
Much better, yeah.
So I'm not gonna rule them out just yet, but Gino is definitely better, so it hurts them.
Yeah, I'm gonna rule him out for playoffs. Like I could see him, still fighting in there, but I don't know. Like especially because they probably don't practice without Gino a lot, so that's gonna change the whole dynamic of the team. Hopefully they can still make it competitive. It's just a really hard blow.
For some reason, I suspect people are probably going to give in like game 1 to them because they're probably going to be like, "Oh, Gino's gone, easy." And if Steph has his game stepped up, they're probably catch people off guard at least in game 1s and 2s. I don't see them winning all 5 very frequently, but I think they're at least going to maybe get the first few while they surprise some people if they're on their game, of course.
But yeah, teams really have to show up for a group stage because every game matters, so you can't be complacent in that game 1. That's going to matter a ton.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's go over RLCS stuff. So this is why we have you guys here. We all are obviously part of the RLCS crew. So let's just talk about our first week, how fucking insane that was. It was absolutely insane. Like, of course, like I show up a day later. They're all hyping the shit out of this studio. And it lived up to every single word. Like, oh my God. This studio is insane.
Yeah, I mean, like, we were casting, like, I was casting in my basement. You were casting in your mom's basement, right?
Not even a basement, dude. We don't have basements in Florida. It was just my childhood bedroom. Like, let's be honest, dude. There's still guitars hanging on the wall and shit.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. So we came from just casting Rocket League like that to being on a really expensive set with a whole production team behind us. So it's not, like, just what you guys see on stream. There's like double the amount of people in the back making the show run, doing the graphics, talking to us in our ear, and like it takes a lot of really hard work. And the production guys, NGEs, are the guys who are doing it. They have been awesome. Golden Boy was actually like really awesome.
Oh, Golden Boy was big.
Boy is like hilarious, dude. He's so cool. Golden Boy is a global icon,
national treasure.
I know a lot of people were giving Golden Boy like some crap because he was this knowledgeable in Rocket League, but you got to understand like how tough it is to be the role he was, like to be the host he was and make the show feel as smooth as it was.
Yeah,
is like that was all him. Like it felt smooth because of Golden Boy.
Yeah, so like he was there because like he's trying to get us to feel comfortable. So we were not comfortable in the studio environment. And we were not comfortable, like, just being on camera, like the way that we were. So Golden Boy, he really, like, led the show for us. He was able to, like, listen to the producers, make sure we got on the breaks on time, make sure that, like, the camera got thrown over to the caster desk in time. He was our anchor. So, like, although he doesn't super know everything about Rocket League, he was a big help to us and made that show run really smooth. And he's an awesome dude in general.
Yeah, he made us all feel super comfortable. Like, he hung out with us, like, 24/7 the entire 5 days that we were there or whatever. So, which was a surprise to me. Like, I wasn't sure if we would see him for rehearsals and then, he would bounce, do his own thing. But he was up late at night playing in our hoops 1v1 tournament and stuff like that, beating Cloud out. And yeah, he was just having a good time. Then we were watching like wrestling Sunday night. Like, oh god!
It was
Gibbs got some moves.
WWE payback.
Oh yeah, like how's your back, Carpet? Is it okay?
It's been better.
Yeah, needed a little work. Like a few cracks is fine. We'll be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Golden Boy, like big shout out to him. It was insane. So I want to start my whole trip. So I go to the airport. And I'm like, all right, I got some time. Let's roast Kyle and Digital from PAX. So I roast them about Kyle loving loot pets and Digital about getting wrecked by Chad. And then I get on my plane and my fucking TV is just busted. And I'm like, motherfucker, a 6-hour flight. And my TV has the wrong colors. So luckily no one was in my middle seat. So I was like, all right, I'm going to watch like stuff over there kind of, but you can barely see it. So I turn off my TV. And then at the end of the flight, like after watching, like crap angles on this TV, I turn my TV back on. It's perfectly fine. I was like, what the fuck? We're starting to lose you with the hotel Wi-Fi. You guys are getting super pixelated.
Let me pause your stream.
Okay.
I pause your stream. We won't watch the stream reaction, but that should smooth it out. Hopefully, are we okay now?
You're still pretty bad, but we'll see if it cleans up in a second. But yeah, I was so pissed. I turned my TV back on, and it's perfectly fine. I'm like, what the hell? I looked through every setting. There was no settings for it, and I was like, that's what I get for roasting Kyle and Digital, of course. But Then getting there, it's like 4 a.m. technically my time. I got there like 12:30 a.m., 1 a.m. And I see all the new guys. Like I don't see James, and he's the only one I actually know. So I see pretty much everyone else. I think everyone else met me in the lobby. So I'm like super groggy meeting everyone, and it was really cool. But I was too out of it to really hang out and talk. But we all got to hang out a ton like the next day at rehearsals, and it was a ton of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. For me, travel was pretty well. I mean, travel was kind of shit for me because
Jamesbot is now a Jamesbot for sure.
Yeah.
You are super bad right now.
but yeah, no, I had to take 2 really small planes. And flying out of Grand Rapids, there's like nothing direct, so it was kind of crappy. Is our Wi-Fi still stuck in?
Yeah. Do you want to end the call and try it again?
Yeah,
real quick.
We'll recall.
Okay.
Total recall.
All right. So while they come back, now I can talk about how bad they look now. So, all right, let's get them back in the call.
Are we back?
Yeah, you're back. All right, video looks like it's popping in a second.
All right.
If video doesn't work, that's fine. Like we can just go to.
Yeah, let's go on. Yeah. And we can edit all that out in post, right? You have like.
Oh no, screw it. We're just gonna go. Yeah, go maybe just audio, because like we've seen everyone's face now. We'll be all right. And I will put up the Twitch chat.
That is our face in the video.
There you go. We'll have Twitch chat up instead. Talk again for me.
Hello, can you hear?
Kind of.
Here, let me turn Wi-Fi off and on again.
Okay. Sorry for the delays, guys. But your regular scheduled program will continue in 5 minutes.
Are we back?
Yo.
All right, hello. I turned it off and on again.
I'm surprised that the call stayed.
I know. I'm just so fast.
Yeah, you're better now. Well, yeah, that's what your girlfriend says all the time, but, you know.
Dude, come on, man.
Got him.
Nice.
Get fucking fucked,
You
bud.
got me. Yeah, RLCS has been crazy because, like, Psionics was there, the production team, everybody was there, and it was such a cool environment and atmosphere. And really, like, if you're like me and Gibbs and all these guys who've been involved with the community, seeing what we saw on that first weekend and like hearing how they're talking about the future of Rocket League, the future of the RLCS, like this is just the beginning, and it's only going to get better. And it's really just so epic to think about all the stuff that we've got coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, there's a giant 84-inch touchscreen on set. I'm like, oh my god, I want to play with it, but I think we're going to have to work through how we're going to use that and stuff for future broadcasts. But, like, the broadcast is just going to get better and better, and it's like, it's just amazing.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Fruit Ninja. That's how we're going to do it.
Oh, yeah, of course. Just play Fruit Ninja the whole time. For sure. We got to do it. All right, let's get into Rocket Royale from this week. And this will come up again in my group predictions later on in the show. But the finals was an all-NA final. And so you expect, Cosmic Kings of Urban. No, Kings of Urban and Vex Gaming
they're like
showing up. Vex got mad.
And they were like, ah!
Yeah, fuck that Gibbs guy. Fuck him. Let's just beat both Europe teams. Like, what the hell is going on? So they beat Maki EU and Flipside. Wound up losing to Kings of Urban 3-0, then beating them 3-2, then losing 3-0 again. So all in all, they went 8-3. So at least on the NA side, they're still not winning a ton of games against North America, but they did play KOU pretty close in most of them. Not all of them, but there's a lot of overtime games, and they looked pretty impressive. Kings, I think, was trying to be a little too fancy at times. Like, I didn't get to see the Europe games with Vex, so I missed those. So I'll have to go back and watch the VOD. But super impressive. Yeah. And we'll see if they can keep that up for tomorrow, because, like, if they're looking hot now, it's only 12 hours away before they got to play again. So
yeah, Rocket Royale is a huge stage it's like the biggest weekly tournament out there. But tomorrow is when people got to show up. That's going to be the biggest stage, and again, Vex, if they can perform really well tomorrow, then maybe they'll bump up in the power ranking and kind of, earn a little bit more respect. But yeah, they've had some close results with like a very wide range of teams. So
Yeah,
we'll
that's
see.
what I was worried about. Because they usually get 4-1 to like the better teams, and then they would barely beat the teams below them. So that's what I was expecting here. But hey, if they show up, more power to them. I hope I'm wrong because I want a really exciting group stage. So
Everybody is hoping that it's perfect. So
you guys are rough. Try calling me back real quick. Sorry guys, we're losing them. This will be a shitty DFH locker room show, but that's okay. We'll survive. I guess I don't need the Skype thing anymore. Yo.
We paid $13 for the higher internet.
Oh man. I think I'm gonna have to do the rest of the show solo, guys. This is not working. Let's see. Yeah, it says we're slow between the two of us. Rip. Rip. Let's see if I call him. See if that'll work. We'll try one more time. Doesn't work.
Gibbs, can you hear us?
Oh man, you sound perfect now.
Hey Gibbs, I am calling from my phone now.
Okay, cool.
All right, well, it's just going to be me because it's not going over speaker. So wait, hold on. Speaker. Here we go. Can you hear us?
Yeah. Sound good.
All right.
Yo.
Great. We've got iPhone power on Sprint LTE. So big thanks to Sprint for coming through.
Sponsoring the show. We get the best sponsors, guys. Taco Bell. We got Sprint.
Just to clarify, Sprint is no way affiliated with this program.
Oh, not yet. Not yet. After they hear this quality podcast, they'll be all over it.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay, but all right. Sorry. Here, hopefully we're back for good now.
All right. So RLCS was awesome. We all had a ton of fun, and I thought we all did like really, really well for first timers, which I was like super proud of. So that was awesome.
Yes,
that
every single one of us didn't have experience and came in. And Gibbs, you looked like a natural up there. Like you were just there. You were there, and you were rock solid.
Yeah, how'd rehearsals go in my seat? Was there a lot of swamp ass on the seat still?
Dude, it was still wet. I'm sitting in that seat, and I'll be taking over for just hanging out every single time. And you know, it's got a good smell. It's got a good.
Oh, of course. My ass always smells great.
It's got a good taste. Still a good taste.
A little touch with the tongue right on the.
Oh my god.
Oh god. But yeah, no, we're excited. It does feel like it's evening without you and Golden Boy.
Yeah.
It's something's a little bit missing, but we'll have a
power through.
Still. It'll still be great.
Yeah, like you guys were good, and group stage is gonna have a lot of good storylines and stuff. So.
Oh yeah.
So it should be a lot of fun.
The action will be intense.
Yeah. All right. So we'll continue on to the actual results from RLCS, the most important tournament there was this past weekend. So we have a lot to go through. Oh, we even have camera now. Hold on. Now I got to bring this back up. This guy, I swear to God.
Oh, wow.
All right. Twitch chat, sorry, you're leaving this show.
John, like one of your French girls now.
Oh, my God. This is such a shit show.
Dude, this is production quality. Can you still hear us?
Yes, we can still hear you, and you guys look a lot better on this camera, so perfect. Oh, man. All right, so let's continue. So first big game of the day was Vex versus No Clue. And this game was really important because the loser was more than likely going to have to face Mocket or Genesis, whoever lost that, while the other got a much easier road into the group stages by playing Phoenix Infinity. So Vex came out on top 2-1, which was huge. It was actually basically the nail in the coffin for No Clue because now they have disbanded since then.
Yep. Chrome is now officially a sponsor for, who is it? It's Chemistry?
Chemistry, yeah.
But sub on Chemistry. Right?
Yeah, so he's not going to be able, which is a surprise. But again, No Clue has had a history of coming so close and not being able to just get that last 5 feet. So it was a tough break because I'm Ozzy. I really like Ozzy. I think he's a good guy. To see him not be able to miss out on the group stage by that much was hard to see. But Vex is still they're a really, really good team, and they deserved that spot. So
oh yeah, for
it
sure.
worked out.
Yeah, they played well. Then we got to see a little bit of Cosmic action. Took like pretty quick work over Vex with a 2-0. Cosmic was the only team in North America to not lose a game in the qualifying stage, and they had weaker opponents. Well, like I guess the Kings had chemistry, so chemistry and Vex are pretty close. So, but Cosmic performed when they had to, and nice easy road for them going into qualifiers. So, like of course, like they're one of the favorites to win groups. So not a big surprise there.
Yeah,
they just look good. Simple as that. Then Orbit, which I actually called the 2-0 over Onslaught. I didn't call 2-0, but I did say that they would win. And Hot Wheel Sid coming out huge this past weekend. And it was funny, the entire weekend before we go live, I'm like, all right, guys. Like I have my trash list. I'm like, all right, Team Rocket's on there. I'll probably throw something about Sad Jr. in there at some point. I was like, Hot Wheel Sid is like one of my top guys that I want to trash because he's super inconsistent. And when he sucks, then Orbit sucks. And then he goes out and plays amazing. Luckily, when I was on the desk, that time I was rushed, so I didn't have time to talk about Hot Wheels Sid. So it didn't look like I made a bad call because I never said anything about him. So that kind of worked out, but I still called it out later, and you guys called it out later for me as well. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure like before we like passed it off to you guys, I was like, you better apologize.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But Hot Wheels Sid, he had an amazing set, so that's why I thought they were gonna beat Onslaught, and they did, and Hot Wheels Sid played amazing. So kudos to him, but of course now without Geno Kopp, it's gonna be a lot tougher. Yeah. So we'll see what they can do. But then Onslaught did bounce back and get the 2-0 over No Clue. Oh, I'm sorry, No Clue would have to face Onslaught. But so they did bounce back and get that win. Not surprising there, but Onslaught has been slumping pretty hard lately. So this was a rough. This was big for them to even make it into groups because they are just dropping sets left and right, and I'm a little worried about where they're going to finish in groups.
Yeah, and I wonder who their like starting lineup is now because what we saw on stream was Classics, Espeon, and Husky. Yeah, and that's a good lineup, but they also play with Flow. Yeah, so it'll be. I'm just wondering who they're going to start.
Yeah, I saw Husky on my group prediction thread. He started being like, all right, well, now we got to show up because I said, that they're not going to do too well. And I'm like, well, Husky, you said the exact same thing for the Pro League, and then we 5-0'd them. So I'm like, maybe this time they should try to walk the walk instead of talking the talk, but we'll see.
Savage.
Yeah, because it didn't work out for him then. And so, put your money where your mouth is and, just go out and play first and then talk the talk. But...
Whoa!
Oh, God! Oh, God, earthquake, California! Oh, God. It's going down. But we'll see. Oh, my God.
This lamp is freaking bolted in. All right, there we go.
But yeah, so we'll see. Like, they can play really well because the past month they were playing great, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You good? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. You're being loud as hell, dicks.
Okay. So next up, we had Vex beating Phoenix Infinity 2-1. That wasn't shown live, but Phoenix Infinity, we did see them once, and they didn't play that great. They did win, but they obviously probably played better here, if only losing out in Game 3 to Vex.
And that's Corrupted and them.
Yeah.
The Phoenix Infinity guys, Corrupted G.
Yeah, they were always like that team I thought would make it to that last game, but probably not win. So I'm even surprised that it went to 3. So hats off to them. Maybe in qualifier 2 they can make it in. Then we go over to the other side. We had Kings Urban 2-1 in Chemistry. So Chemistry almost made it just in the winner's side alone. And Genesis actually getting the 2-1 over Mach, which, funny story, Genesis was really mad about this set because they wanted to delay the game and play it the next day. But Lo-Fi forced them to play, and they were really pissed off about it.
Wow.
And then Genesis comes out and wins 2-1, so they were really happy about it. And this is what I heard from Genesis, so, that's one side of the story, who knows. But, so they were really happy. And then later on in the week, we had, on Wednesday, Mach and Chemistry both wound up getting through because of the DQs that happened. We had to add some extra brackets. So they both also made it in.
Yeah.
So really no surprises there. Vision played really close with Chemistry and almost pulled it through. Like, I thought both teams didn't look great in that set, but it could have just been a one-set thing. But it was like a 10-second goal, the wide open net for Chemistry to get the win.
Yeah, it was like the last 30 seconds of the game, and Vision was winning 2-1, and then somebody missed like an off the wall shot that they could have taken their time on, and just left the goal wide open, and they ended up tying it up off of that. And then like with a few seconds left, they ended up scoring. So it seemed like Vision had that one, and in the last seconds let it slip. So
yeah,
I'm always excited. I've known A-Money for a long time before he like even got big into streaming, and it's cool to see him and his crew make it into the group stage. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, like it was funny because when I was going to coach for Cosmic, like if I wasn't gonna coach, I wanted to make a team with A-Money and Doomsy at the time, like if that was allowed, because I was like that would be just a fucking shit show and be a lot of fun to do. But then it wound up that I stayed on and was helping Cosmic out, so it didn't work out. But yeah, I'm really happy for A-Money. I love playing with that guy. He's got a great attitude going into the game, so I'm glad he made it in. And I'll be rooting for him, even though I won't show it on the desk. Instead, I'll be shitting on him probably. But I'll be rooting for him for sure. And then Europe, upset City, which is not too surprising because like NA, we figured there's like 8 to 10 teams that could make top 8. Europe was kind of wide open because it's so competitive over there. Flying Dutchman, though, coming out big. The 2-1 over Precision Z, and then the 2-0 over Weedham Girls, which was very surprising. Weedham Girls just missed every single shot in that series, though. They just gave that series to Flying Dutchman. It could have been because the two of them, I think it was Maestro and Greasy, just started playing in the later rounds, and maybe they weren't warmed up enough, but I assume they played at least 2 or 3 rounds before that, and probably for like an hour and a half. How much warm-up do you actually need?
They were really off. Like
it was just off.
Some really easy shots.
Yeah.
In that series, like really easy, give me goals, and they just couldn't put them in. So like Flying Dutchman played well, but also Weedham Girls just like they were just so off. And then when they really had to step it up versus Crown and Jewels, they did. They stomped them.
Yeah. Crown and Jewels almost had that 0-second goal. They probably should have had that 0-second goal in game 2, and that would have been awesome. But at least it was a good way to end the cast. And I know everyone wanted to see like Flipside versus Kapow, but we had a schedule, and that's what we were set for because there's a lot of people behind the scenes working and all that, and that's just the schedule they had.
There's like the guys who are working in the back. It's like they are paid to come in and like use this giant switchboard, and they're like professionals. They are told like we're gonna go this time to this time, so it's like we are working on a timeline, so we can't just cast forever because people probably people have plans and they have families and things.
Those guys are in like hours before we are.
Yeah, and they're
they're way before us.
It was still hype.
Oh, it's still awesome. And with the group stages, we'll have a set of 5 games on each day, and so you'll know what games are casted. There's 14 games a day, so obviously there's no way that we're doing 14 games. So you'll have 5 games. You'll get to see every team in week 1 at least, and then you'll see like 1 bonus match as well. And then week 2, I think we have set, the first 3 games are set, then the last 2 are based on seeding. If certain games are important, then we'll show those. So that should be super hype. To see who comes out of groups. So it'll be better for group stage for sure. It's just hard with a giant open qualifier, not knowing how long it's going to take and all that. Plus, like, you want matches set before the other match even because you want to make sure that there's no problems. And there was no problems with any of the teams that we casted, really. Like, we didn't have to delay on the desk really at all. Yeah. So they did a really good job getting the game set, and the players did a great job joining at the proper times. Like, we never had to go into game and then have people leave and restart it, which was awesome.
Which was amazing.
Yeah, I was shocked.
It was like miraculous that people didn't pull some stupid shenanigans. Called for a restart.
Yeah, which was nice. Then the story of the weekend: RG Esports, 2-0 in Crown and Jewels, and 2-1 in Supersonic Avengers without Doomsy, which I have a giant rant that I'm going to say in a bit about that. But wow, what a story. Like, they were ranked 16th. They were probably trending up. I'm not really sure because once we get down that low in Europe, I don't know the teams that well. But their open field passing was insane. It was just really good passes to each other. They always knew where their other guy was on the passes, and that really confused both Crown Jewels and Supersonic Avengers to give them the win. It was a great show.
Yeah, and I mean, do they play in ESL and stuff? Like, why are you?
RG? Yeah, I haven't seen them before. Like, they came out of nowhere. But I was talking to, like, that's the thing that doesn't make sense because I was talking to Seeks and when they were playing with Orange earlier, and it's like they practice and play all the time, but I don't see them in tournaments.
Yeah, they started showing up now in Rocket Royales and actually doing pretty well. They took Flipside to 5 games in not Gfinity, I think it was Rocket Royale. They played him Gfinity again today and took him to 2 overtimes, but lost 3-0. They also beat Precision Z today, so in 5 games. So they're looking good. Like they're looking like this was not a fluke, and that they can keep this going. One game I saw like in the Rocket Royale, which was amazing, was they literally took 4 seconds to set up a pass because they had the time because both players just sat in net. And most teams would have been like, all right, I have no boost. I'm just going to like lightly throw it at the net and hope something happens. Instead, they stopped, turned around, passed it to the side to his teammate for like a great deflection goal that actually wound up being like an own goal because their third guy was rushing back and actually own goaled it. But that type of knowledge of the game to know that I have that much time to set up a pass is like it's going to take them pretty far.
It's essentially Rocket League game sense. Like
yeah.
And Counter-Strike game sense is so important on like understanding where a player can be, the likelihood that they're in a certain spot, like so on and so forth. In Rocket League, there's the same, like game sense is a thing. And players that are really mechanically solid but have no game sense will do exactly what you were saying. They'll just throw the ball at the net. They'll just hit the ball to hit the ball. And really, like if you have that level of understanding of positioning where players are and how to make something happen, then you can do a lot better stuff than if you were to just hit the ball.
Yeah, what are you guys laughing at?
Stop reading chat.
James.
God.
Another thing I would say is like Johnny Boy saying there's lots of nearly great teams in Europe, and yeah, like we know that for sure, but we just we couldn't follow all of them. So RG actually showed up big in the spotlight, so now everyone knows about them. But yeah, Europe is so competitive, and it's fun to watch when I get the time. It's just I haven't had a ton of time. But now with RLCS, we'll be paying a lot closer attention to EU as it goes on and on. But yeah, hats off to RG.
The 16-seeded team will never beat a top team.
Yeah, top 4 or 5 or back to back. Yeah, it just won't happen. So that was really impressive. But at the same time, Vex as the number 7 just beat arguably the number 1 and number 2 teams in Europe back to back. So things are starting to get interesting on both sides, I guess.
Though, is what I heard. So.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, yeah. And they're West Coast, supposedly. Like, Vex is not West Coast. Sorry, guys. I always thought they were, but only one of them is. Which I didn't know. And then J-Rod just, threw it at me on the Reddit. He's like, we're not West Coast. I'm like, you could have told me.
Someone's from Miami and someone else.
I'm like, sorry, I didn't know. I only know so much. But then Precision C, 2-1s, Supersonic Avengers. Weedham Girls, 2-0s, Crown Jewels, which we talked about. I'm going to do all the results, and then I'll get into my Doomsday rant about the Supersonic Avengers situation. So we'll just go through them. Mock, 2-0 effort. They didn't have a problem at all in qualifiers. I think they went undefeated. Flipside, 2-1 Kapow. Kapow, 2-0 Cow Nose, which I'm not sure who's on that team.
Cow Nose?
I have no idea. I have no idea. But hats off to them. Sorry, we didn't get to see you, but we're going to go through this quick. Then effort, 2-0 over ... Not really surprises down on that side. It was mostly in that top bracket that things just went crazy. But let's go into Supersonic Avengers. So I go on this big thing about how I love Doomsday and I can't wait to see him play and he's one of the stars of Europe, and then he doesn't play. What the fuck? So, get fucking fucked, bud. But
dickered, bud. Fucking dickered, bud.
I understand kind of why they did it. They're like, hey, we've been playing with Kasabi all week. We've been doing well. And then Doomsday told me, it's like, we've been doing well. They played against Unrivaled, who is a pretty good team. They're top 12. And they did well against them. But it's like, guys, it's not about beating a top 12 team. It's about beating the best teams in Europe to make sure that you make it into groups. And I would field who you think is the best 3 players on your team. And the problem with Doomsy, now here we go, is Doomsy has no self-confidence at all. And if you're going to be one of the top players in Europe, you need to be fucking confident. You need to be like, hey guys, I want to play because I know I'm one of the best and I will help you guys win. And not be like, look, you're playing pretty well. I'll be nervous under the pressure. Like, no, fuck that shit. This is the most important weekend of your fucking life. Well, like, of your Rocket League life. You need to be confident and not worry about the fucking pressure. Because if you can't play under the pressure, then why are you playing at this level anyway?
So the TLDR is Doomsy, don't be such a pussy.
Exactly. Like, Doomsy, what the fuck? Wake the fuck up. Be confident. You're a fucking solid player. Don't be a pussy and fucking lace up those shoes and get on the field.
Yeah,
but
they have to come out on the next qualifier because this is just...
Well, Doomsy's not playing in the next one either, though, because he's on holiday. What? So I'm like...
Wait, what?
Yeah, so he's on holiday for the next one.
What do you do when you're on holiday? You play video games.
Yeah, well, he's going somewhere, I think, with family, which is fine. Like, if you're going somewhere with family, I mean, it's already planned. It sucks. That I'm fine with. But if you're there, you fucking play. I don't care. Like, he's a sub for a reason, Kasabi, and you be like, hey, guys, I think I'm better than Kasabi. Like, I think we'll win because we've had really good results as a team. Put me in the fucking game. And don't be like, well, like, I might get nervous. Like, no, fuck that shit. Get out there and play. Like, Kasabi's good, but he's not Doomsy. And then Doomsy's like, yeah, we scrimmed like RG the next day, won 7 of the game, or played 7, won 6. And I'm like, guys, like, field who you think are your best players.
I mean, I can see why they thought that, though. It's like they got with Kasabi all the way to the advancement match.
Yeah.
So not wanting to mess up something that's working, like I get that, right? Like, it makes sense.
Look,
if it
like,
ain't
I do
broke,
too.
don't fix it. But at the same time, like, it's kind of one of those situations where you're like, fucked if you do, fucked if you don't.
Yeah,
like,
but once you lose that first game, though, maybe bring in Doomsy because you have a little bit of time to warm up with Doomsy at that point. You probably have like an hour at least. And like, because, like, sure, I see, like, hey, like, you're playing through winner's bracket. You're playing no-name pieces of shit. You're going to beat them all. So you're going to feel good. But I don't know. Like, I would be like, hey, Doomsy, I want to field my best team. Like, say, like, if I was still in Cosmic and Said was not there for most of it, and, like, I'm playing with A-Money, I'll be like, well, we have history with Said. We built this with Said. I want to see it through with Said. Like, I don't want to see it through with A-Money because he wasn't there building this whole team up this entire month. Well, for them, it's only a month, but for us, it was, whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, field the team that you started out with because you think it's your best team. I don't know. But, of course, hindsight's 20/20. Like, if they would have made it, this is a non-story.
Yeah.
So, it sucks. But, like, it's mostly about Doomsy and his self-confidence. Like, man, you got to be fucking confident. You're one of the best players in Europe.
Yeah, like, he needs to own it.
You just got to be confident.
He needs to own it. He needs to do it.
Like, yes.
The fact that they lost and, like, if Doomsy would have came in and they lost, it's like, people probably wouldn't have given him a hard time because, like, especially after the first round of the, like, winner's bracket, after going into the loser's bracket, then just bring in Doomsy because you didn't want to mess something up, but then you lost. So, like, now is the time to make the change.
Yeah, then maybe bring him in because it's like, why not change something? Of course, like, if they brought him in and they lost and everyone would be like, why didn't you leave Kasabi in? I can see that, but at least you're fielding the team that you started with, so I can see that. Oh, we lost your video.
No, it's all right. We're back.
All right, and I don't mean no-name teams are pieces of shit. I'm sorry, guys. I got a little crazy there, but, like, teams that are not ranked anywhere near anything, like if they're challengers and you're playing them, of course you're going to feel good because, that's how it works, but I don't know. I was really upset that Doomsy didn't play, and it has a lot to do because of his self-confidence, and he needs to just...
It's heartbreaking because I love Supersonic Avengers. They're a fun team to watch, and they've got fans, so...
But, like, RG deserved it. Precision Z definitely deserved it as well, so hats off to them. And Crown and Jewels and Supersonic Avengers, they got to do really, really well next time to even have a chance at LAN. They need to come first or second and have a little luck go their way. So, you guys better be practicing. Or, I guess Kasabi better be practicing for the open calls. But, yeah. So one thing I want to bring up is the DQ stuff that came out where. So I thought Smash GG did a pretty decent job of letting all these teams back in. Like, of course, it wasn't a great solution to begin with, having all these teams get DQ'd because of system errors and stuff. But I thought it was a good thing that they held up the bracket and let these teams get that a second shot that they deserved because they didn't have a shot to begin with. And every team deserves a shot at this because that's the whole point of it. It's an open bracket. Every team, I don't care if you're prospects. Like, you deserve a shot. Who knows, if you get super, super lucky, like, you could make it. And it's just more about having fun doing the tournament for a lot of these teams. So I'm glad that they fixed that, and I'm glad pretty much every team had a chance to make up for it. Of course, it was only single limb and stuff like that, but that's just time restraints, and, like, it was a weird system.
It was great that they even, like, they acknowledged it, everybody took ownership, and tried to do something about it. So it was good to see that.
Yeah, so I'm glad that every team, at least for the most part, had a chance at this. And, I hope we see these teams again in Qualifier 2. Like, we want another big Qualifier because it's fun.
It'll run a lot smoother in Qualifier 2. There was a lot. Like,
Europe was really smooth.
The biggest online tournament that I've ever seen in my life, and we did it for the first time. We learned a lot of things. So if we were to do another one, it will run a lot better.
Yeah. And Europe ran pretty smooth, and, like, I know there was, like Kronovi just said that they weren't going to win anyway, but, like, I think he just worded it a little poorly, but I think like everyone deserves that chance, and I don't care if you've never played the game before. Like, if you signed up, you deserve an equal chance as everyone else, since that's what they wanted to go with, and just a little unfortunate how it went, but they did a good job at fixing it, I thought, the best that they could. All right. On to group predictions. So we'll just go over mine, and then you guys can tell me if I'm wrong or right. We'll go through it. I actually changed all of my Europe ones, so this is not right at all anymore. So I'm just going to go down the list, and then just stop me every time I'm wrong, and you guys can decide as a collection. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. So Europe, we'll start there. It's going to be a shit show. There's going to be a lot of teams trading wins here because it's super competitive. I think Flipside comes out number 1. You're like, yeah. I mean,
toss-up.
Like, top 3 is a toss-up, I think.
Girls, mock it, and then Flipside.
But Flipside always shows up in the clutch.
Yeah, like
I wouldn't say always, but
yeah, who knows? I feel like they will show up for this, but they could easily.
I would flip 1 and 2 myself with the rest.
But the thing is about Flipside in the Pro League, they would, like, go 3-2 against, like, random teams. Like,
that is true.
Not random teams, but, like, good teams that they should 5-0 or 4-1. They would 3-2.
Yeah. They do 3-2 a lot.
This is a group stage where every series matters, and the 5-0s are priceless. So,
and then
I wouldn't put Flipside at number 1. I think that they're going to make it out to the online final, and they have a very good shot at winning. But I don't think they're going to finish at number 1.
Yeah, like even in the Pro League, they came in second. They almost came in third because of all their 3-2s that they had, and that could very, very easily happen. Like, I think the top 3 will probably be top 3 in some order.
Yes.
I just don't know what. For some reason, I think Flipside's actually going to show up, but they usually don't for, like, a season type format. But I'm going on a little bit of a limb, I guess. We could say, putting Flipside 1. Weedham Girls number 2. Lately, they've been dropping sets here or there, so that's what I'm worried about. Maybe they're just being complacent because they're just waiting for, like, this big scene. But then, again, they lost 2-0 to Flying Dutchman, but they kind of just played terribly. So we'll see with them. Mach EU, I'm rounding out at number 3. They could easily be number 1. Like, they've been hot and cold, but lately more hot. But with Passion 90 on your team, he's one of the best players in Europe. He really is like an MVP of Europe. Like, he makes that team so much better. And you really got to watch out anytime
he doesn't play super fancy all the time, but he just plays very well. Yeah,
like, his dribbles are insane. Like, if you ever give him time for dribbles, like, he deked me out a couple times during our Pro League, and he's just really good if you give him time.
It's that 1v1 mentality.
Exactly, yeah, he's really good at that. So those top 3, pretty much, like, it would be surprising if one of those top 3 does not make playoffs, I would say. Like, I think the 4th spot is more of that wide open spot. It's probably not super wide open, but I think any of the other teams, if they have a good day, have a chance at it. So number 4, I have Kapow.
I think I'm just a fanboy hoping.
Yeah, you're ridiculous.
Of who?
They're saying RG.
RG to 4th, maybe?
No way.
Yeah, I actually have RG 6th. Like, I would actually put Flying Dutchman 5th. Like, I was going to move them up. But RG's playing really well. But I think at some point the passing will break down. And they'll start losing sets really hard. But they definitely have a shot. Like, I think they're at least in the conversation now compared to before this. They were, like, they'd be 8th or something. But, like, I have Kapow and Flying Dutchman probably fighting for that 4th spot with RG just behind them.
Yeah.
Precision Z could be that surprise team that comes out as well. They have their hot and cold days, though. And then Zero Effort, like, honestly, I just don't know a lot about them, but they never have shown, like, amazing results. Like, they've shown decent results everywhere. So, like, if they have to play against the top 7 in Europe, it might be tough for them to bounce out of the 8th spot. But
yeah,
it's a toss-up for that 4th spot. It's
my list is very similar to yours. I mean, the top 4 is pretty much the same. I've got Weedham. I think it's going to be Weedham Girls, Mocket, then Flipside, then Kapow, then Flying Dutchman, then RG, then Precision Z, and then Zero Effort. That's what
pretty
I've
similar.
got. But
yeah, that's pretty close. Like, Europe, that fight for 4th is going to be like the storyline going into that second weekend, I assume, unless the top 3, lose a big set somewhere. And with group stage, it's all about the 4-1s and 5-0s. If you can 5-0 any of these teams, that looks so big because most teams are going to 3-2.
The 5-0s will be so priceless because this is the biggest, like, it is so important. These series are so important. The 5-0s will be like a golden pot of joy for any team that can get one against anybody.
If you're playing against some of those other teams, like, you have to capitalize on, okay, if you are playing an effort or something like that, and they, do get 0-5, putting that gap in when another team's only going to go maybe 4-1 or 3-2.
Yeah.
Like, those games are going to play a huge dividend later on.
Yeah, you don't want to just walk away with a win against those teams you could win against. You want to just
crush
everybody. You want to Goomba stuff.
Also, like, a big thing that happens with Rocket League, you see these teams get hot and cold so quick and so fast. Like, you look at a team like Zero Effort. I mean, I've seen them do work on some big teams, but then the next week they don't do as much. So that could play a huge factor. Like, let's say they do work against someone like Flipside and then bring them to like 3-2, but then they get their asses kicked by like Flying Dutchman. Now Flying Dutchman are ahead of Flipside by going against the same teams. Like, I think that's going to play a really weird factor in some games that could like throw some like that 3rd and 4th spot off kilter.
Yeah, the tilt is real, basically. You have to make sure that you're not tilting between series. If you have one bad series, you can easily bounce back. But if a team starts going tilt heavy, then, like, in Europe especially, that might ruin you. Like, if you have 2 0-5s in a row or something like that, you're looking really, really rough. Because it's not going to be easy to 5-0 anyone, so you don't want that happening to you, for sure. North America, I'd say, is a little bit easier, but Vex Gaming just showed that maybe they're going to make a name for themselves. Like, I think most people have either Cosmic or Kings at number 1. Most people probably have Cosmic at number 1 because they have not lost a set to another North America team since the super team formed, basically. So I have them at number 1. That's not a far stretch. Pretty much I'm guaranteeing them for playoffs. Like, if they don't make playoffs, that'll be a shocker. Kings Urban I've at number 2. Like, I would put the next 5 teams in, like, a tier where they could all trade wins here or there. Kings, I think, is a little bit more consistent than all the others, so I think they'll come out. But they have a lot of 3-2s versus worse teams. Your video cut out again. There we go.
I need it. Does anybody have an iPhone charger?
Yeah. No. We have real fun.
Oh, rip.
Idiots.
Oh, God. So we'll make this quick. It's almost over.
All right.
Isn't your stuff universal? Oh, wait.
No. At least it works, right?
So Kings Urban, number 2. I actually have Genesis number 3, which is probably a little bit of an outside pick. They've been really hot the past few weeks, and they're coming in with morale high, and they're really confident. Yeah. So I think that might ride them through this and get them to number 3. Machina, I have at 4. They're a West Coast team playing on East Coast servers, so that might hurt them a little bit.
I think the West Coast, East Coast server thing is not that big of a deal.
Like, I think it might matter for, like, a game or 2, maybe.
You're playing on
Possibly,
we
which
were
might be the
just
difference
playing-
between
we were
3rd and 4th.
We're in Burbank, California, and we were playing East servers, and it was fine.
I didn't even notice until I saw someone like go through the ball.
So,
On some minor hits, it matters,
I don't buy
but
into
it's not much.
that. Maybe.
I don't know.
But I just don't buy
Well,
it.
when we see Europe versus East, generally host wins, so.
Yeah,
You know.
but that's like we're going over a freaking continent. Like,
It's
I
similar
do not
pings, though.
buy the East Coast, like, you can try to sell it to me, and I'm not going to buy it.
That's fine. That's fine. Me and you always disagree on this
I'm not
anyway.
going to
So
buy it.
that's fine. That's fine. Like, so I'm thinking it's not a huge deal. It might mean the difference in one. I missed the joke. Oh well. Like I did have Orbit at 5th. I'm probably dropping them to 8th without Geno Cop.
Yeah.
That's gonna be rough for them.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 5-6. I might move around now with that roster because if they don't come and play super fresh.
Yeah. I would actually say, like, I think that Vex has the chance with how they've been playing lately to take that 4th spot.
Yeah, Vex. So before today, I would not have said Vex had a chance at playoffs, but they proved me wrong today. So I'll give them an outside chance. I still don't think they make it, but I could see them 6th or 5th even, because Onslaught, to be fair, it has looked like crap the past few weeks.
They're streaky. They're a streaky team.
Yeah.
They can beat really good teams,
Yeah.
but they're streaky. So it's like, who's going to show up tomorrow?
Yeah, but I'm starting to
that's
think.
my favorite team in
But at the
NA.
same time,
So
like,
I
Yeah.
really hope.
With Rocket Royale, like Onslaught destroyed Market. Like
Yeah, they did, and then they lost to Vex, which was like
Yeah,
surprising.
so-
But now Vex is looking good, so who knows? But they're hot and cold. But the thing was, like, they were so hot when they first formed that I'm thinking it kind of skewed my opinion of them, at least, and thinking that maybe they were better than they actually were, and maybe now they're just settling into that 5th in NA, 6th in NA, and that's where they should be. But I think they're better than what they have shown lately, like especially with the 3-0 over Mach on Thursday, I think it was. So they definitely have fight left in them, and they could easily make playoffs as well. Vex I have at number 7, which would get bumped up without Orbit, but they showed up today. I want to see if they can show up tomorrow. But again, they lost to Kings of Urban 8-3 in the total games, but that's Kings of Urban.
Yeah.
And they've been solid. So
tomorrow's where it counts. Like a lot of this stuff during the week, like I honestly think
some
where it
teams don't
counts.
show
The
up.
People who are the most mentally tough, and like Weedham Girls and like iBuyPower and all these teams who are really good have gone through like whole phases where they have just won everything for a long time.
Yeah.
Recently, Weedham Girls has been losing some games, but honestly, like those types of teams that have been able to get up at the top and stay there, like they're going to fare much better. And
it's 35 games, so you have to be good to do well in a 35 game season.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll definitely see, like for Europe, like that top 3, we all expect them to make playoffs just because they're so good.
Yeah.
And it's kind of similar in NA with maybe Cosmic and Kings, but after that, there's a lot of really good teams all like bunched up. So again, those 5-0s and 4-1s, we'll see. Chemistry, they haven't shown much yet. Like I know they want to show more. Like they think that they can beat these teams, which everyone should. Like if you make group stage, you're a freaking amazing team.
Yeah.
But they've been losing a lot of 4-1s to some of these better teams, and you can't have too many of those going into groups. They did beat Vex a couple weeks back. I think it was Mocket, so like a best of 3. And they took Kings to 3 as well in a qualifiers. So who knows? Maybe they're trending up, and we just haven't seen them play the top teams again.
Yep.
So that's a possibility. But this week, I think in Rock Royale, they lost 4-1 to 2 of the top teams. So I don't expect them to do much, but I hope they surprise me because I love A-Money. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go quickly into some Q&A that we got throughout the week. This was mostly for me and James, but we'll talk about just general stuff with everyone. Does RLCS staff seem happy with the viewership? I really love the event. Hopefully it met their goals. This comes in from Charles Johnston at ISBG. Yeah, they loved it. They knew that it was like an intro event, so this is our base, and we're just going to build from there. Plus, it was qualifiers, so we didn't have the greatest games lined up throughout the entire day. Now that it's group stages, every single game is going to be super hype, and people are going to stay around a lot more. They were really excited about through commercial breaks. Everyone stayed.
Yeah, everybody
was
was
great.
really happy with like the production. Like people were half expecting it to like crash and burn. They brought a bunch of people out who had never done this type of thing, and like this is like, it was like a brand. Well, it's not just that. It's like they brought out new people. Yeah. They made a set specifically for Rocket League. A lot of money, time, and effort went into doing this, and to have it go smoothly, that like it was just everyone was ecstatic. The viewership goals were like beat. And it just got even bigger the next day. So everybody was happy. Everybody was super ecstatic about it. And like when we went out to dinner, like one of the guys, Thomas, gave a toast saying like he's been around esports since 2003 and he's more excited about this than anything else. So people are really happy and excited with how things are going.
Yeah, it sucked that I missed that dinner.
100,000 tomorrow. We're not doing Sunday.
Yeah.
Get out there.
Yeah, it was awesome, and everyone was super supportive of all of us, and that really helped our confidence going into it. Because I know my first rehearsal was shit. Then my second rehearsal was fine, and it's just because everyone's so supportive. They're like, yeah, it's fine. We'll do it this way. You know, we'll try and make it better here or not. And that has a lot to do with like Golden Boy, as you said. But even the production crew in the back, just in my mic, like giving me stats at the end of games because we didn't get to see it, stuff like that, just really helped. All right, next question. Justin Collins at CinnamonBon1. Who do you think will be in the online championship for NA? So I think the important thing is coming out of groups. You want to be that number 1 seed to get whoever just made playoffs barely. So I think it's really important to get the number 1. The Cosmic has dropped games a lot to weaker teams. Like they'll 4-1 them and not 3-2 them, which might be the difference, but fight for number 1 is going to be big. Whoever comes out of number 1 in groups will probably make the championship. 2 and 3 is usually a toss-up. But I'll give it to Cosmic and Kings, which is probably the usual answer here. I don't think anyone has any other choices. Like, of course, like Genesis, Mocket, or Onslaught could definitely be there. But most people are leaning Cosmic and Kings.
Yeah.
Most people are actually really upset that we keep saying Kings are so high, which I'm surprised. Like Mocket said that on Twitter a bit, and I'm like, well, they did just beat you, but it was with subs. But they don't lose a lot of sets to other teams in their level.
Yeah,
they really don't.
Well, we'll see. We'll find out tomorrow.
Exactly.
Talk is one thing, but teams are going to have to show up tomorrow.
Exactly. Yeah, teams will have to show up. We'll let them play it out. Next question, Shogun, personal curiosity. What is it like casting in a studio environment compared to online over Skype? So I'll let you guys handle this since you guys are the casters.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot different. I mean, it's learning like the majority. Like once we get into the game and are casting the games, it's easier, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
like
easier.
you're not messing with overlays. You're not having to deal with other things. And the thing, as much as we try to react to Twitch chat and communicate with you guys, being able to focus on just casting, do the best that you can with that.
Well, and then it's a little bit more difficult. Yeah, the parts that are more difficult is that it's like we have people talking in our ears saying, "Camera's coming to you in 10 seconds," or "We're about to throw it over to the analyst desk. Make a transition." Like you've got people talking to you, and you cannot acknowledge them. So it is a little bit. It's different, but like everybody here like was a very quick learner. So
yeah, we got really good feedback from all the guys. Like they pretty happy with how fast we picked it up. But I mean, that's things. There's small things that we're always gonna have to do better. So
yeah, it's good too because like it feels more natural. It's like when you're talking to someone, like we pick up, like as we're doing now in a conversation, it's easier to pick up based on body language. And when I'm just yelling, sounding like a jerk, out of my corner of my eye, I'll see him tap the table. I know he wants to say something.
Yeah.
So it's just being in person. It's a lot smoother transition.
And we were touching each other's legs on the.
You're like that. I'm just like. Did Lava go for his dick?
Yeah.
Like,
no one touched my leg.
No, I wasn't actually touching people's legs too. I was touching the desk. There's a desk there, not. But whatever.
Yeah.
We'll go
excuses. We're just feeding that fan fiction for other fans.
Yeah. But the headphones were actually really good too because you could not hear anything besides what was in your headphones. So you actually heard the game really loudly, and that was actually like made the casting more hype. Because like I did one practice cast, I think with James, I think it was. Yep. Oh no, it was with Wave, just to try it out, and it was actually a lot of fun because you just hear the game really loud in your ears, and it just gets super hype. It's awesome.
It is. It's awesome.
Next question from Get Throned. Do you think a pro team or an underrated team will win RLCS? It's all pro teams at this point, guys. Like, all these teams, we know that they're here for a reason. The only one that was like a super surprise was probably RG, but now they're named.
If RG wins it, I will try to jump something in a dirt bike.
5 loaves of bread.
Yeah.
I'll jump 5 loaves of bread in a dirt bike.
Yeah, like RG might be that one team that's like underrated, but we don't expect them to win it. And if they do, I'll eat a sock.
That'd be great, but
no.
Oh yeah, it would be awesome.
I'll eat an article of clothing if that happens.
Yeah.
James, last week when you on stream you said something about like I'll eat 2 loaves of bread if this one team wins in your casting, and Tim, the producer in the back, was like, "Is he like gluten intolerant or something?"
That's hilarious.
Nice. All right. Kenny Robinson at KennyBoy28. Would you say that the EU side of RSS is far closer than expected? I think we all expected it. We all expected that Europe could have some no-name team. Well, not no-name teams, but teams like on that borderline could make some surprise wins. We didn't expect it back-to-back from RG with beating a 4 and a 5 seed, but we figured NA would be pretty easy to predict, and Europe was like, whatever happens, happens on that day. Europe's always been more competitive because there's a lot more veterans of the first game, so they're more spread out. And some of them you just don't even know about until you see them in the spotlight. So that's not a real big surprise there. Pluto asks, how is the sudden transition from casting in your kitchen to practically being on ESPN? Freaking awesome.
A lot less microwave sounds.
There you go.
Which is nice.
A lot less beeping.
A little bit less trained.
And I have to actually wear clothes.
Yeah.
At least the upper half.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and like just hanging out with the guys, like after the cast or on the breaks. It's a lot of fun. You know, it's really it's a special experience, and it's just awesome that Psyonix and Twitch let us do it.
Yeah. It's one of those things, like a lot of I think the reason why we were able to pick up stuff so well is because they went grassroots. All of us just wanted to strive so well. We all just wanted to be like the best thing for the community because that's what we want for the community. So the fact that we all get along pretty well, other than the jabs towards Leaf being Canadian all the time.
Get dickered, bud.
Yeah.
And carpet. No one likes carpet.
Yeah, other than that kind of stuff, I mean, I think it allows us to focus on the important things. So having that rapport kind of helps a lot.
Yeah.
It also helps with like kind of like you said, like all of us here are doing this for Rocket League. Like none of us were like, man, I can't wait to get famous one day.
Yeah.
And, like, take the spotlight. Like
speakers.
None of this was
Says the guy
planned,
who just
right?
wants to be known as
No, none of this was planned. It just kind of happened. So the fact that we're here,
so like none of us are stepping on each other's toes. Like we're all working with each other, and that definitely helped us be more comfortable. Especially like that first day, like we already we already jerked off Golden Boy saying how great he was, but
You may have jerked off.
Well, that's how I got sick, so, you know, that's how it works.
But yeah, I mean, even you too, Gibbs. Like
Oh, no, his phone died. Oh, right when, like, Carpet was about to compliment me, his phone dies. Rip a Reno. All right, we're going to continue here. Maybe someone else has a phone that can call in. Here we go. Lawler calling in. All right, we have Lawler on the line.
Hey
guys, how's it going?
Call a friend.
Oh, I see James's crotch. Looks like a phone died on us here.
Yep. We're hoeing out.
Right when Carpet was about to compliment me, it dies. Coincidence?
I got a wide angle lens on the here. Oh, you do? Nice. Yeah, dude. All right, we should use that from the start.
We should have. This one is so real solid. All right.
Yeah, this is better than
Look at that! Holy cow! It's got wide
This is
angle.
nuts. You see me from everywhere.
Jeez! Oh my god!
Anyways,
production.
There's like a
gonna
towel in the way. Yeah. Whatever that is.
Hey, we're what we can now.
That's fine. It's fine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
All right. Quality is on a budget.
All right. The towel's gonna be
the camera. The towel's.
I'm so sorry for the show, guys. I'm so sorry. So sorry.
Anyway, so we hadn't we all kind of had known each other a little bit. We hadn't met, and the last time I heard from you, Gibbs, you were thrashing my league. So
it was the league.
The poo-poo league. The poo-poo league. So even with that, even when you did that, of course I wasn't hurt. What happened. It was something that we learned from. But that's what we need. Like we need to be able to criticize each other and take and understand that we're all knowledgeable in the game. and that's what's really cool. Like when we're up there casting, we're all like.
And just some are more knowledgeable than others, and people will understand that.
Yeah.
Don't forget it.
Won't they, James?
For me personally, it was weird because so you guys casted, and now you're casting again, so it's a similar thing. One, there's never been an analyst desk at all on, like, in Rocket League, and I didn't really do any of that. Like, of course I did, like, replay analysis, and I know the game, but I had no idea how it was going to go. One, like, I've never met Golden Boy before, like, talked to him once on the phone. That was it. So I didn't know how our report was going to be. Plus the...
I didn't even know who he was.
He's the national judge in the global
Yeah,
icon.
exactly.
The global icon first, and then
national. True.
As long as you say both, I don't think he gives a shit.
I think it's one first, but I don't know.
But, like, the only person I knew, like, out of any of you was James, because I haven't had a lot of time to follow, like, the casters and stuff like that. So I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but we formed some pretty deep friendships, I thought, in our first 3 days meeting each other. And it was really cool, because, like, I don't hang out with a lot of people around me, because I work with all super old people. Mostly I have college friends now that all live in Guam, live in Arizona or somewhere else. So, like, it was actually cool to have, like, a boys' weekend, which I haven't had in a while, And we all got along great, and it was fucking awesome.
It was.
Hats off to you guys. Like, yeah, it was a great time, for sure. But we all did really well together. Like, even on the analyst desk, I had to, like, perform with all of you, and everyone did amazing. And it was really easy to just, like, swap back and forth talking. And everyone knows the game. Sometimes some people don't know certain teams. So, you give them a quick brief, like, hey, here's what you should talk about. Just, like, share your knowledge. And we're all sharing knowledge here. Like, I kept asking James. I kept shouting at him, like, I need rosters for some of these no-name Europe teams. I have no idea who's on these rosters. So,
it's that koala!
Yeah, I'm like, James, I need rosters, damn it. Because I didn't move from my seat. I was like, I'm not taking off all these wires. I just sat there for 4 hours.
And I was on break, like, half the time. I was just, like, hanging out on break.
Yeah. Like, it was a good time all in all, and I had a ton of fun for sure. I'm up to 1:30 now doing a fucking show with these fuckers. Like, I should be sleeping. But, all right, next question from Jeremy Boyum at Jeremy Boyum something. I don't know. Why did you call Team Rocket a sinking ship? Or were you just kidding? Were you worried about offending them? No, I was completely serious. No.
I love you, kid.
Team Rocket. So Team Rocket's a weird one to me because they wanted to be competitive at first. Then they're like, hey, guys, we're going to be a fun team. And then decided to pick up actually good players and try and be competitive again. Then they all kind of left because Doomsy's like, I'm leaving. So everyone's like, fuck this. Like, he's our best player. I'm leaving too. Then they tried to form again and say they're a fun team. And then they're saying now, like, Shogun's like, this is way more competitive than I thought it was going to be. It's like, they're all solid players, but they're not amazing players.
Shogun has a title. You gotta watch out for that team. Shogun has a title. They're contenders.
No,
they're the real deal.
I'm sorry. They're not contenders. No offense to Cole. Cole doesn't have a lot of time to play.
It's like, nope, you're wrong.
Yeah. Fisho is the most overrated player ever in Rocket League. He knows it. I've already talked about this before. I love Fisho to death.
How can you say that?
Yeah, Fisho's amazing. I love the guy, but he makes montage plays, but he misses 15 of those before you see that montage play. So,
Jesus! Oh, God. Burning all your bridges.
But I love Team Rocket. Like, I figured they wouldn't get offended, and I wanted to shout them out because I knew that we weren't going to watch them because they would be, gone by that point. But I'm just having fun with them. I love the guys. I really hope they do well. But I know they're trying to have a little bit more fun than they are trying to be competitive. So, it would be amazing if, like, somehow they make qualifier 2. I would be so happy. But yeah, I love the guys, and we'll leave it at that. I just wanted to throw a dig at them.
Yeah.
Kill Bluff 1985. Any teams that surprised you in RLCS by either underperforming or overperforming? We kind of covered this, like RG Esports, Supersonic Avengers underperforming.
That was probably the biggest one.
Yeah.
Crown and Jewels, I'm not
too surprised about Crown and Jewels. Yeah.
That was not as big a shock.
Yeah. Last question from Hunter Johnson, Mr. Cleanup. He's like one of my OP supporters. After seeing Final Carpet's beard, does it make you wish that you could grow one? A little bit. My wife probably wouldn't be happy. She's not a facial hair girl. Well, at least not with me. Because like sometimes if I'm just scraggling for like a day.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna get.
I'm kidding. Oh Lord.
Oh, like, I didn't hear what Carpet said, so that's probably better off. But yeah, I wish I could grow that beard. That would be pretty epic, but it'll never happen.
I was actually gonna try to convince Final Carpet to like shave his off and just donate it to me, kind of. But yeah, no, I can't grow a beard. I wish I could.
I think I'm the patchiest out of all of us. To be
See, that's the thing. Like, we're all gonna show up with terrible facial hair for the next like 6 months.
Yeah.
Because we can't.
Just try to grow the.
We're all gonna be trying the whole time, yeah.
Spectre Wave Punk will have the most hideous looking face.
No, look, his actually like comes in full though. Mine doesn't grow like anywhere here. I get natural mutton.
Yeah, yours is
it's pretty crap.
Yeah, but I don't even try because I know it'll just be awful. It'll just be terrible. So I just don't bother.
Yeah.
All right. So on that, guys, any last notes that you want to say to these? I don't even know how many people are here. 150 people, and for all the YouTube and podcast people, anything you guys want to say, feel free. You got the open floor. I'll plug your shit. Go for it.
You've got the hipster Snuggie. I love it. It's what it's like before.
Like I'm trying to sweat off this mess.
Snuggies, aka a blanket.
It's a blanket. I'm trying to sweat it out, but yeah.
But,
no one has anything to say. Good. I like it.
Johnny boy, I see you, man. I've got faith in Weedham girls. They're one of those teams that, yeah, they might have lost some games recently, but they went on a streak where they like won everything.
Oh
so
yeah.
I'm gonna put my faith in those guys.
So, like, if you had to pick one Europe team to win it all, who do you got? Weedham girls?
Honestly, I honestly think Flipside is the team that is gonna win it all.
The fuck? James is like, all right, Weedham girls, I got you. No, Flipside's gonna win. The fuck, James?
I think Flipside's gonna win it, but they're like in group stages though. Like they like in the pro league with just 3-2 teams, they had no business 3-2. So I don't see them coming out on top of groups, but I think if I had to pick one team to win it all in EU, it would be Flipside.
But that one seed's going to be really important to make the finals. And the finals is actually a really big deal because if you make top 2, you don't have to play in the next open qualifier. You automatically make groups. So in Europe, especially when there's 3 really good teams, the number 1 seed is super important because like it's not a free ride to the finals, but it's a much easier matchup probably, like if all 3 finish top 3. So that's going to be really important. But actually, like I Flipside winning the groups, I have Weedham girls winning the thing. So me and you flip-flop there. But we'll see. It's going to be super close. So, last shout out. I want to give a shout out to Del Taco. I'm super jealous that you guys went there today. I really want. So how was the food? Was it as good as the first time?
Yeah, no, it was great.
But tingling good.
Yeah, I got the hot sauce. It kickstarted my digestive system, and I took a big old dumpster truck. We got to the studio, so it was great. Worked out.
I think my audio is just spazzing out, supposedly. Oh well, guys, this show's gonna be terrible. Sorry, but all right. If you guys have nothing else to say, I want to thank you for all joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, guys. Anytime. And this has been DFH Locker Room number 6. I don't even know anymore.
I'm 10.
Sure, whatever. We had 5 guests today. So, well, 4 guests, I guess, because we don't include James. He's a co-host. But, yeah, thanks for joining me, guys. And we'll see you guys next week, hopefully with better quality. Maybe?
That's doing good.
Well, we're going to see you tomorrow.
I have not been home since the Wednesday before the qualifier. So, like, I just haven't been home. So, it's hard.
It's rough going. But we're living the dream either way.
It is.
And,
it's worth it.
Yep. And thanks for supporting us, guys, in the Twitch chats, spreading the love. And, yeah, you'll see those guys tomorrow. You'll see me next week. And that's been a show. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Later.